Miss Cole, I tell you what, this lady is phenomenal. July this year marked her 11th year anniversary with ACN. July, 11 years with ACN. 17 years and 10 months she was in the military. The Army to be Pacific. I take good notes, I think. She served on tours to the Middle East. Watch this. She had a gun in one hand while she was in a foxhole, and she had a cell phone in the other hand. That's right, Jackie McCoy. You remember that story? And matter of fact, she went to Afghanistan how many times? You might remember? 5 times to Afghanistan and 1 time to Iraq. I pay attention. Yes. 7 years ago, the military sent her a letter and said, you got 6 months to go and you out. She said, I had no control over my life, but I dug in and I went to work at ACN. Let me tell you something. She said this, and I quote, I make more money with my ACN residuals than my retirement check. Let me say that one more time. She said, I make more money residually from ACN than my retirement check after how many years? 17 years and 10 months. That's a powerful statement. Ladies and gentlemen, for those that never heard it before, put on your seatbelt. Let's give a warm welcome to Miss Coles.
Oh man, Mr. Thomas, your introductions, like he has the best, don't tell nobody I told you this, but he has the best introductions in any training I've ever done for anybody. And I'm so appreciative. It's such a honor that you guys continue to listen to me. And I say that because I'm just an average, he said I had a gun in one hand. And look, I'm just a soldier who wanted to, an old soldier, I'm going to say, who just wanted to do something different in my life. And I kind of joined the military to get away from home. I was just wanting to be independent, I guess that's what you call it. So I left early and I don't regret it. He takes some great notes because there's nothing for me to share with y'all because everything he's already said it. But one thing he didn't say is the reason I'm excited about life changing or everything that he said. Some people may be distraught about having to get out the military early, but one thing I always say is when God closed one door, he opens another. And so although I was one that was forced out of the military, I was blessed that ACN was coming up on the back end. And I like sharing that because a lot of times we feel like our careers are it. We feel like we've sacrificed, we've given them 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years. But you guys got to remember that at any given time, at any drop of a dime, they'll kick you out. And they don't care. I mean, if you're sick, they want you to choose them over your kids. They want you to choose them over your spouse. And I'm thankful to have ACN, as I've always had it, in the last 11 years as a backup. And so I think sometimes we take this thing for granted, this ACN business for granted. Y'all know we're in our 30th year of business, and that just shows longevity. I've tried all kinds of businesses, lotion, juices, wraps, makeup, you name it, I've done it. But this is the only thing that I didn't have to force on people. I didn't have to push people or beg people to pay electricity or beg people to pick up a cell phone or beg people to watch football. It's football season, right? They gonna need DirecTV or this, And so that's what I love the most. And so as I was trying to figure out, I had reached out to Jabri because I was like, man, what can I talk about? Because I do so many trainings. Like I said, I'm thankful that I got to get mixed up with what I already done or what I didn't share. And so now I'm going into the second half of the month and going into the last quarter of the year. I thought it would be only right that we talk about, it's funny that somebody posted in the group chat about following up, because that is what we're going to talk about today, the importance of follow-ups and having a daily method of operation. So if you with me, type in the chat, say, or if you're ready, type in your chat, say, I'm ready. I need you guys to cut on your cameras, pull out your notebooks. I see you, Mr. Brian, Mr. Daryl, Mr. Sam, Mr. Danny. If you're in a safe place, cut on your cameras because I like to see people's smiling faces. Thank you, Miss Rutherford. I see you, girl. Good morning. Good morning. Nice to see you. Nice to see you. But yes, we're going to talk about the importance of following up. But before we get into that, you know, I like to show y'all some, just a little get up and make it happen.
Those days that you don't want to do anything, where you're too tired, too sore, you just don't feel like it, those days, those are the days that count. When you have those feelings, it's even more important to step up and get some. If you've got something to do, don't put it off till tomorrow. Don't do that. Don't voluntarily do anything tomorrow that you should be getting done today. Get it done today. Don't wait. Attack it, destroy it, and move on.
Stop waiting for something to move you and move yourself. You're your biggest problem. Everything is external that moves you. Now I want you to start moving yourself internally. I want you to be able to push your buttons and not let anything else push your buttons. You gotta move you every single day. If you get to a point in your day and you down and out, if you get to a point in your day and you exhausted, you get to a point in your day and you're not feeling it, you can stop right there and change the mood. Nobody control your mood. You control your mood. You control your feelings.
I don't care how small it is. I don't care how minuscule the movement is, but make movement. Move forward and do that every single day, no matter what, including today. You aren't getting any closer to your 5-year plan or your 3-year plan or your 7-year plan or any plan that you've got unless you get up and start getting after it today.
I woke up one day and stopped making excuses. I woke up one day and stopped playing the blame game. I woke up one day and looked at the man in the mirror and was like, yo, bro, what are you doing? Wake up, it's showtime, let's go, get up. Go to class, get up, do your homework, work on your gift. It was given to you, but you gotta hone it. And the reason why some of you are not where you're supposed to be, you've given yourself an option. You've given yourself an out. You've given yourself an excuse, but you have what it takes to do it. And the problem with some of you in this room, you don't have no drive. You ain't got nothing pushing you. You have no reason. You better find one before you get out of here today. You don't belong at the bottom, and it's time for you to get your butt from down there. It's time for you to stop being comfortable at the bottom. Get your butt up and get to where you're supposed to be. You are a royal priesthood. Get where you belong. Do what you're supposed to do. Live like you're supposed to live.
I just love motivation. I love getting up, you know, whether it's, and however your motivation is, whether it's your Bible, whether it's whatever you need to quick start your day. So I love watching different videos. Obviously, y'all been on a few trainings to know that. And so one thing I'm learning just across my team, and that's why I wanted to share with you guys, is one thing we have to get really good at doing is following up, right? As we're headed into our last quarter, I want you guys really quick, and this is not even in my notes, think about who you've reached out to in the last, what are we in our 9th month of the year. In the 9 months that you've been, if some of y'all knew, but if you've been in ACN all year, 2023, I want you guys to really think about who you reached out to and who you followed up with, let's say from January or from February. Because they say the fortune is in the follow-up. And so, like that video said, that's one of my favorite videos because it said, you are your biggest problem. How many of y'all ever follow up with people and by the time you realize you follow up, they already got the service connected, right? Anybody been mad? Miss Jackie, y'all ever been mad? Because you're like, man, I should have been quicker on my feet. And sometimes you can't help it because some people move real fast. But y'all know what I'm talking about, right? He said, you have to move you, right? I know a lot of times I used to blame my business on my team. let me say in my earlier days, right? You don't have to admit to this, but I used to be like, oh man, why isn't Al doing something? Why Rick not getting this person qualified? Why Jackie still, and I used to always play the blame game, right? But if you want your business to change, however you want it to change, you have to move you. He also said, nobody control your mood, right? Some of y'all ever wake up on the wrong side of the bed and you like, I don't feel like ACN in the day, right? I've done it many a times. Mr. Al, I know he's been in way longer than me, so I'm sure he's done it times too. But I realized that how you wake up kind of is how you end your day. If you wake up on a bad note, chances are a lot of your day is going to be on a bad note. I'm learning that, you guys. So you have to make sure that every single day you're learning how to control your mood. He also said, I don't care how small, how minuscule it is, make movement every day. Some of y'all, like I know Mr. Al always gets on the call. He's like, how many leads do you have today? How many IBOs you have today? How many customers? And some of us, we're embarrassed because we're like, oh, we only got one. Or you only have a follow-up call. But how many of y'all know that follow-up calls leads to new IBOs? How many of y'all know that follow-up calls leads to new partners? Right. So that's one thing I love about this group, because when he put that, I'd be like, I can't wait till he write that so I can tell him what I've done. And that only shows and says that at the end of the day, it doesn't matter your position. We're still working to reach a common goal. Just because I'm an RVP don't make me no better than any of you. I still need to get reps and customers and talk to people as well. So the fortune is in the follow-up. So I put down 5 follow-up steps, and I want you guys to keep up with me, all right? 5 follow-up steps. Before I get into steps though, listen, every top earner in ACN knows that the fortune is in the follow-up, right? Every top earner knows that the fortune is in the follow-up. It takes an average of 10 exposures before somebody, and this is just on the minimum. It takes an average of 10 exposures before someone will even take action to get any services from you. Minimally 10. See, some of y'all, look, and I'm just speaking to myself too. Some of us, we call 2 people and then we defeat it. Or we, just, reach out to, 2 potential IBOs and then we get defeated, right? Most times, people would not sign up with you after only one conversation. I don't care how good your conversation is. I don't care if Mr. Al Thomas is a senior vice president. I don't care. Listen, most times it's going to take more than one conversation. You have to build trust with people, y'all. We have to build better rapport with people. We can't just go in like a salesperson for the kill, trying to think that people going to support us, right? So exposures, right? Exposure. When I talk about exposing, I'm talking about the presentation. I'm talking about phone calls. I'm talking about Zoom calls. I'm talking about talking to everybody. And if you're not following up with your people, you're leaving money on the table. If you're not following up with people right now, they just sent out a new Vivid bonus. If you're not following up with people, you are leaving bonuses on the table. You're leaving residuals on the table. So here's a few follow-up steps in order to achieve the results you're looking for. This is mine, right? So always follow up, all right? How many times you have people say, well, I got to check with this person, or I got to check with that person, right? Unless they say, I'm not interested, right? And they shut you down and say, look, I'm not interested. You always need to follow up. If you present ACN to someone and they say, I need to do research, right? You need to follow up with the website. You need to follow up with the Better Business Bureau. You need to follow up with whatever information that those potential IBOs or customers need, because how many of y'all know when people start doing their own research, it can get ugly, right? So I always make sure, and I had to bring my voice down. Yo, I'm saying this because I realize that when I listen to myself on recordings, I'm like really loud, like I'm yelling. So if I sound a little down, because I realize how loud I be on these calls, but I be excited. So it's just I'm a little toned out just in case, but I'm excited. But I just had to bring it down because I listen to myself sometimes. All right. So we have to follow up with people. Never just say, okay, right? Never just leave it at okay, right? And hang up or whatever, right? All right. So here's the truth of reality is they're not going to call you back. A lot of times they're not calling back and they're not busting down the door to be your customer, right? You know, they're not knocking down the opportunity to be your partner, right? That's what follow-ups are for. That's what we do as leaders. Look, I wrote this in my notes. I said, that's just like going fishing, knowing the fish are hungry, and you just sitting there in your boat waiting for the fish to jump on the line, right? In the bucket, right? You go fishing, y'all know y'all got to cast that reel, and I've never been fishing, so I could be making this all up. But you know how you got to cast the reel, and it goes down in the water, and you usually have a worm or something that attracts the fish to the line, right? And that's what brings them to it, right? You got to give people just enough, but still follow up. The people that fish, right? They got to reel it in, right? They got to move that line all the different spots to just reel it in. They following up, right? I don't know how I made that up, but that was in my notes. So number 2, set a firm date. Set a firm date and stick to it. Before you get off calls with people, right? You have to set a date before ending a call because, like I said, if you don't set a firm date, you guys, chances are getting back to them is slim to none, right? Set a firm date, all right, before ending a call. So, how do you set a firm date? Look, I'll say, let's say Mr. Thomas says, hey, could you give me a call back? Let me talk to my spouse. Something I'll say is, okay, well, I check my schedule. Wednesday and Thursday at 9 would be best. Which one works better for you? So you give them what you know what I'm saying? You how do I explain it? You're pretty much telling them. Y'all don't even know it. You subconsciously telling them what you need them to do. You got to move people into action, if that makes sense. Because if you just be like, wait on it, y'all know, come on. Another one is, the third one is be on time. Be on time to your follow-ups, guys. Just because it's your friends, just because it's your family, don't mean you don't be on time. So some people think running late makes you look busy. But you have to always make sure that you expect people time. Running late makes you look unorganized, unprofessional, and inconsiderate. So when somebody gives you a time, or they say, most of the times I always get, call me on my lunch break, right? I call, when does your lunch break start? 11:30? I'm probably calling 11:29 and 59 seconds because I want to make sure that I'm on time. And y'all, and let me say this, I am no means an expert of business per se. All I did was learn principles in partially the military, and then in my AC in business, apply it every single day. And that's just what made me proficient, because a lot of times, Miss Payne, a lot of times people think that you got to be good at this, like you got to be excellent at this. Mr. Ransom, they think that you got to know and know and know and know and know, right, Brian? But here's the thing. You don't have to. You just got to follow what your mentors tell you to do. So be on time. All right. Number 4, condense exposures for better results. Condense exposures for better results. If you let too much time go by between exposures, right, life will get in the way. How many times, and I'm gonna just raise my own hand, but how many times you said the opportunity with people And then maybe a couple days later, then you know, or you go to expose somebody else, and then you realize you got a doctor's appointment, or you got something else to do. And then before you know it, a week done gone by, and you haven't shared the business with anybody. And so I say that to say, when I say condensed exposures, I try to make sure I'm exposing somebody to ACN every single day, right? Or I'm in somebody's DM, like, who do you know on social media every single day, because you never know when those exposures may bring you somebody. So number 5, dealing with the fear of commitment. Okay. So how to deal with someone who just doesn't want to commit. Like I always get the question of, I shared the opportunity with somebody and now they're not answering the phone. Or now, you know, they said they're going to sign up, and, you know, now they go to witness protection, right? Y'all know that. One thing I'm learning is that it's a lot of people in witness protection. Y'all know that. There's definitely a lot of people right now. Listen, the home should be full because there's a lot of people in witness protection. I've been in 11 years, and I'm like, they shouldn't even have no more room left because it's so many people in witness protection. So I wrote this script kind of, you know, of just my notes, and it said, so how to deal with somebody who just won't commit, right? So I said, and this is just something I said, but I said, well, Miss Smith, I really don't want to waste your time. If you're really not interested, it's okay. You can just tell me no. It won't hurt my feelings, right? Because sometimes, like, people are scared of people. I don't know. We're scared of the rejection. We're scared of following up. We're scared. We're just scared of no's, right? But it's a book called The Fear of No. I don't know who's the author, but it's been a while since I read that book. But get into that book, right? So here's what I do when people give me excuses. I'm gonna say the word excuses, right? Because we hear those a lot. So let's say Miss Smith said, I say, well, Miss Smith, I really don't want to waste your time. If you're really not interested, it's okay. You can just tell me no, right? I said, but tell me this. Do you like the concept? So I'm like a no give up type of person. Like, you can't just tell me no. You can't, like, I need to, when I say, and now this takes expertise, y'all, right? Because I used to get in my feelings about that a lot when you told me no, and I just hang up the phone and keep it moving. But a lot of times what I realize is people don't know what they don't know, right? So it's up to us to give it to them, right? So I say, tell me, do you like this? I know I don't want to waste your time, but do you like the concept though? Yeah, I like the concept. It's pretty nice. That's exactly how I feel. I'm a feel, felt, found type of girl. So I've been in ACN for 11 years, and we've said feel, felt, found forever, right? What do I mean? I understand how you feel. I felt the same way. But what I found out was X, Y, and Z. Because a lot of people are scared to do business with you because they think that they won't get support. They think that it's hard and they got to figure it out themselves. They think that they don't know nobody. Like, people think all kinds of crazy stuff without even knowing what it is or what you have to offer. So then I say, do you see an opportunity for yourself? Tell me, I always, when people tell me no, I say, well, do you like the concept? Do you like the concept of getting paid on your bills? Do you like the concept of helping people save money? Do you like the concept of free services? Right? I always make sure that I do that. Now, if they really say no, I'm probably gonna let them go. But if they say no, though, I say, well, you know, it's cool. I understand. Clearly, this isn't a fit for you. But who do you know that wants to make some money right now? That's it. Always get off the phone and ask for referrals. Like, who do you know? Who do you know that might want to do something different? Who do you know? Does that make sense, y'all? So here are some follow-up question and answers. And I kind of wanted to not take up so much time. So that way, because we never get to ask questions and answers. So this time I kind of wanted to be able to answer some questions with time permits. So I'm kind of condensing what I'm doing today to give you guys time. So here are some follow-up questions and answers. Like, let's say the prospect says, I'm very busy. I will get back to you. All right, Miss Jackie, all you have to say is awesome. It looks like I have Wednesday and Friday at 6:30 open. Which day will work best to give you a call back? Okay. I need to do some research. Awesome. I love research. Please take a look at acninc.com and the Better Business Bureau, y'all know what I'm talking about. Better Business Bureau website. I want to make sure you get the most accurate information, right? Prospect says, and these are real examples. I would like to talk to my spouse, sister, brother, cousin, aunt. Great. Let's invite them to the next event so they can see the information for themselves. Thursday at, whenever you have your next event. I don't have the money. I don't have the time. I don't have y'all heard it all, right? Whatever they say. My saying is always, listen, I understand how you feel. I felt the same way. But what I found out was ACN will help you get your time back. What I found out was ACN will help you be able to spend more time with your kids. What I found out is that ACN provides residual income that X, Y, and Z. Did that make sense, Dave, to you? I see you. All right, good. Now, obviously, I talked about I said I was going to share with you a little bit about daily method of operations, right? Write in the chat. What do you do every day? 9 o'clock. What do you guys do when you first wake up in the morning? Write in the chat. What do you do? What is your first start of the day? So I'm gonna share you guys most times. Look, what I usually do. So most times when I wake up, maybe 5, 6 o'clock, I am in my word. So I read my Bible devotions. I say my prayers. I'm on the Bible app. So I have these different plans that I follow about life, about just all types of things. So I make sure I take care of that first. So that's kind of part of self-care, right? And then after that, I may have some breakfast, right? 9 to 12 is my time where it's me time. When I say me time, I mean my follow-ups, my reaching out to people that's potentially going to be in a business. My time is for me to phase 1 to get my business constantly moving, because y'all already know that a lot of times we slip in different phases, management mode, phase 2, 3, 4, 5, and we forget to make sure that we are taking care of ourselves in our business. So that's my first part of the day. Then I might have lunch, but the afternoon, 1 until, that's team time. Whatever you want from me, Miss Jackie, you call me, I'm there. If you need help with a customer, Brian, I am there. If you need help closing out a follow-up, Mr. Sam, I am there, right? So that's what mine is. So my question is, what are you guys is like? What do you? Okay, Amanda says she meditates, she read, exercise, and she journal. Great. So after that, what do you do? Right? What part? And a lot of times I've never been good at schedules, y'all. Like, I am the non-schedulingist, but I always remember what I'm supposed to do. Hey, charge to my head, not my heart. But I said that I'm going to start getting better with my schedule. When you write it down, you see it, you guys, it makes it plain. Does that make sense? So the reason why you kind of want to do all this, y'all, and I wanted to do the follow-up process because, like I said, this is the last 15 days of the month. And a lot of times we wait till the last day to want to follow up. We wait till the last day to get that partner qualified, the last 3 days, because if you don't get them qualified in before the end of that 30 days, then you won't make your bonus. And to me, that's selfish. That's selfish, because right now you're just thinking about your bonuses, but you should be thinking about getting people paid as soon as possible. Why? Because that creates stories, right? The reason why you want to get people also fast because now this is a little in depth, Mr. Thomas. So I hope you're ready. I haven't done this training in a long time, but I think is fit. So the reason why you want to do a lot of follow-ups before the end of the month, because at the end of the day, guess what? And I'll come back to that. At the end of the month, this is what you have. It's coming, whether you want it to or not. Y'all seen The Purge, right? Us older folks.
This is not a test. This is your emergency broadcast system announcing the commencement of the annual purge sanctioned by the U.S. government. Weapons of class 4 and lower have been...
Y'all know I'm very artistic, right? So at the end of the month, the reason why you need to follow up, because at the end of the month, and if you're brand new, hey, this don't apply to you just yet. So just take this, but this is advanced leadership training. So I'm gonna give you some advanced stuff. So at the end of the month, okay, we have something called a purge. Okay, so these are just the purge things I'm gonna go over. Like I said, I won't keep you guys too long. I'm gonna share with you what that is and what that means. The customer purge status is what that looks like. Some of you may not know, some pointers and then some frequently asked questions. So what is the purge? I know y'all heard that say it's yearly. No, son, it's monthly here. And ACN, right? This ACN's compensation. What? And here's what a lot of people are scared of it. But here's what you have to understand: ACN's compensation plan is designed to reward independent business owners who acquire customers and retain their existing customers. Therefore, it's important that we establish rules for when a customer counts towards, customer acquisition bonuses and qualifications. All right. The reason, because I hear a lot of people be like, oh man, the purge is coming. The purge is coming. I love the purge because here's why. All those old customers, get them out the way, right? You can start working on your purges now, right? A lot of times, how many of y'all have 100 plus customer points or more? Raise your hands. Raise your hands. Raise your hand. Oh, we got some work to do. Nobody raising their hands? 200, 100. Because here's why. Y'all know that your thresholds for your residual income is classified off of the customers you have. So let's say you, Rick, you're getting close to the end of the month and you have right at 100 customer points, right? And guess what? You lose a Vivint or at the end of the month, like right before the end of the month. Now you lost your percentage. You done gone to the lower percentage rate for your bonuses. Obviously, you want to go above and beyond. Don't make your minimums your maximums. But I'm just saying, all active customers count towards positions and qualifications. Okay, so you got to understand that, and until they are removed from active status or purged. Customers are purged once a month. Okay, the purge occurs the weekend following the last Friday of the month. So it's probably usually that Saturday of the month. Okay, purge customers are removed from the customer list and no longer count towards your qualifications. If you're trying to hurry up and get somebody qualified, listen, you have to. Oh, well, thank you. The purge is real. I'm looking at the bonuses. All right. Oh, you got 350? Y'all know I'm very interactive. Okay, Kitty. You got more than me. I'm right at 300. Anyways, all right. ACN continues to store the data on all the customers, right? And the purge process has no impact on the customer services, or their billing status, right? But they keep a track. That's what you're $25 a month for, right? They keep track of all your customers and stuff for. So this is kind of example of what it looks like, or kind of sort of what it used to look like, right? Schedule to purge. You know when your customers purge it and why. Y'all see the name of the customer, the ID number, the service that they have, when it's going to purge. And this is obviously is a little old. But then to the right of that, it says why. And then at the bottom, you see all the customers that's purged, right? You want to beat the schedule. So when you see this in your back offices, your ACN Compass, schedule the purge, you can get ahead of that before it actually purges because of the date that they give you of the purge. Y'all know that, right? Anybody ever try to stay ahead? Well, if you didn't know, you can stay ahead of your purges. Okay, so this is just my business and different customers. So every month, this is what I do. At the end of every month, what I do is I take a screenshot of my team and their customers, right? Now, this is, like I said, this is a little old, but I take a screenshot of Team View. You go to Team View on your ACN Compass, and this is all your first legs of business, right? And you'll see how many customers they have, right? And then you also take a screenshot of the amount of points that you have per service, right? And I always do that so that way I know where I'm losing customers at before. Because see, a lot of times the purge happens and y'all don't even know what happened to the customer, where it went, who it happened, and especially if you have, I'm gonna say 10 or more IBOs, right? You don't know where that customer might be coming from, right? So take a screenshot so you'll know. All right. So these are some statuses that you may see on your back office, okay, to know that it's coming, okay? Customers with incomplete status, okay? Services not connected, right? You'll see this on your customer listing, right? Services not connected or canceled, right? Account established, this is for merchant services. Waiting usage, right? No longer billing, all right? Pending activation, canceled during termination or trial period. One thing I love about ACN is that they give us time to get ahead of our stuff. They always give us time to be able to account for our customers or our services, which is in the purge statuses. Does that make sense to everybody? All right. So here are some pointers. All right. Here's some purge pointers. All right. Always acquire more than a minimum as customers and teach your team to do the same. Okay. Like I said, if you are at a threshold, whether you have 75, 100, 200 points, y'all know that if you lose 1 point, you lose that percentage, right, for your threshold for your residual income. So acquiring more than the minimum is the way to go. I already told y'all some trainers ago, 200 is the minimum anyway. So y'all should remember that, okay? But always stay above 75, more than 75 points. Why? Because that gives you all your 5 levels at least, okay? So you have to stay above 75 points at all times to ensure minimal 10%, okay? Take a look at your downline. Talk to your IBOs and find out and help them with their customers. Because some of your IBOs might not even know their customers are purging. But as a proactive type leader that I know you all are, right? You want to make sure that you're helping your team. You're helping them with their customers that may be purging. Go over, now that we're on this training, go over that and with your IBOs to see if they have anything purging, right? Do not wait until the last minute, obviously. Follow up. We just talked about that. Follow up with the customer sign-up process. A lot of times, here's what we do. I'll get Mr. Al, let's say he's my customer or whatever, and he say he'll call me back, like, right, however, right? And then let's say he does call me back. And he says, well, I'll sign up my Spectrum, right? Y'all have people, oh, I got it, I'll do it, right? I always make sure when I say follow up, I'll call Mr. Thomas and say, hey, let me assist you because I want to make sure that you get what it is that you want, whatever service. Every customer I acquired, unless I didn't know it, I've been on call with them, y'all. Everyone. And I've been in business 11 years, and I'm not making it up. I always make sure I help my customers sign up their services. Because how many of y'all, raise your hands if you ever said somebody that signed up and they didn't sign up under you. Ooh, that is very a vivid, y'all. Just imagine a 10-point vivid and they sign up without you because you can't go back and change it. Oh, that would make me so mad. So make sure that you are following up, right? And then make sure that to talk to the representatives yourself. So I have Edgar is my Vivid guy. Vivid is my favorite service, if y'all can't tell. Edgar is my favorite Vivid guy. So I text Edgar, I give him a background of like my potential customer, and then I say, hey, we're gonna call you on three-way. Before Edgar starts getting into his whole rigmarole, because y'all know they salespeople anyway, I say, hey, listen, Edgar, my customer Rick, this is what he wants. He wants 2 cameras, he wants this, and this, and this, and this, and this. And as your customer, Rick's going to be like, man, Keisha's really involved. She really cares about helping me get this customer or getting this service. That will take you a long way, you guys. So follow up, right? Now, here's some more frequently asked questions. How do I know if my customer is scheduled to purge? Right? The personal customers that are scheduled to purge are listed in a separate section of the IBO's customer list. Okay, the reports will list both the customer and the date that the customer is scheduled to purge. These customers will receive a scheduled to purge date within 2 months prior to their actual purge date. All right, what happens if a purge customer begins to use ACN service? Right, because I've had somebody that was scheduled to purge for Vivint, and because their install date was so far out, ACN wound up purging it. But because I completed it through ACN, guess what? Once they started using the service, I was able to recomp that back. If a customer that is either purged or scheduled to purge due to service being canceled or rejected, that customer, once they begin to use their service, the customer will be changed to active service. This means that the customer once again counts towards qualifications, bonuses, okay? If the customer is either purged or scheduled to purge due to non-usage, look, you got to tell them to use that service, okay? So that will produce an invoice, right? Because y'all know ACN works off of invoice. They know that it's invoices, okay? All right, the customer will unpurge and return to active status on the following weekend. During each monthly purge, ACN compares the customers that were billed for service in the month against those that are purged or scheduled to purge. Those customers that were billed but were purged will be returned to active status. Okay, those that were scheduled to purge will continue to count as active. All right, customers with incomplete status. Customers with a status of incomplete do not count as active and are displayed in a separate section of their list. They don't count until they're completed. Okay, if the reason they are incomplete is not resolved within 60 days, they are going to be removed. So if you go look on your back office, I see, right, Ms. Marvetta, it's happened. Right, we don't pay attention. We have so much control that we forget that we have control, right? We have so much control over our businesses that we forget that ACN sets it up. They do everything for us so that way we can be aware of our customers, okay? So obviously you got different grace periods. I don't think I really got to go over that. But when it comes to promotions and stuff like that, there's grace periods. All right. So you got to make sure that only thing this says is make sure you're staying in your qualifications. You know what your qualifications are for your different positions. So make sure that you always maintaining your positions. Why? Because that's how you get paid, y'all. You know, if you're a regional director and you fall out of your qualifications, well, guess what? You get somebody qualified, you might not get that bonus because you are not in your active status. So obviously I can talk about Elevate in a second, but like I said, I didn't want to talk to y'all too much because I never get to answer any questions far as following up or any questions. Please, I don't know if Jabri gave y'all options to unmute yourself, but if not, we got a couple minutes to post it in the chat before Mr. Al takes over, or unmute yourself so you can share. Now you're always inboxing me later, So ask me now so everybody can hear the question and they can answer it, by the way. Or I can get it question answered. No? That means I did a pretty good job today.
Wow.
All right.
That's amazing.
Oh, she said, oh, he says, as an RVP, what's your motivation? So it means this is about to be personal, y'all. So sit back. All right. So in my military career, I don't have the struggle story. Okay, hold on, Mr. Rick. I don't have a struggle story where you hear a lot of people say, well, I lost my job or this happened and I joined ACN because of this. My purpose now, because my initial purpose of joining ACN, my motivation was my mom. I wanted to move her. I grew up in the hood, Baltimore City. My mom still lives there. She's 75 years old. She's content. She don't want to move. No matter how much I've tried now, I've come to grips that it's home. Y'all know them seasoned folks. It's home to her. She don't want to go nowhere. So my initial motivation was her. Now, to be honest, I don't have any kids, you guys. I'm not married. So what motivates me is helping other people. I feel that God put me here, and I've been fighting for this for a long time. So this is really personal, and it's giving me goosebumps right now. If I can be transparent with you guys, I fought for so long why I'm doing it. Because most people's whys are kids, spouses. Everybody has that family, parents, that's familiar why. Being that it's just me, I feel like God put me here and I've been fighting for my purpose, self-driven purpose life. Y'all read that book. And so one thing that I know that I do without thinking, without second guessing, is help people. I am a selfless, God has given me I'm gonna say gift of helping people. I don't care your sideline, downline, upline, around line. If it's something I can do to help you grow your business, to help you be successful, anything I can do, I do that. And I feel like God gave me that gift to help. And so my motivation is making sure that whatever I say to Daryl or Mr. Thomas or any of you guys, it help you in some way, shape or form to get what you need to get out this business. So you guys are my motivation to answer that question, Mr. Foster. All right, so Mr. Rick, what you got? I don't know if you got to type it or you got to unmute yourself because you raised your hand.
Hi there.
Okay. Hi.
Okay, I have a prospect that I sent a video to.
Okay.
And my text message to her says, I just emailed the video to you. She says, thanks, I'll look at it as soon as I'm available. I said, great. Shall I wait to hear from you or would you like me to check back with you? She replies, yes, please, thanks. So I took that as to call her back.
Right.
So I just got home to the dentist. Did you get a chance to watch the video? Wanted to catch you before you, she didn't reply. So the next day I said, wanted to catch you before you got to work. Did you get a chance to review the video? I have not. I will make you aware when I do. Thanks. I said, thank you for responding. I will wait to hear from you. So I don't know what more I can do.
That's it. You done it. Because the thing about it is you don't want to be worrisome either. You kind of want to, when it comes to follow-ups, you want to follow up, but you don't want to seem like you pressed for them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You want to make sure that you give them the time that's needed. And that's what you did. You showed her like, listen, I got this, I got that. Here, this is for you. But only thing I would have done different, because in your responses you said okay, or you said gotcha, or so when I initially what I initially do when I get comments like that, like like when she said, send me the video, right? I probably would have said, okay, great. Looking at my calendar, I see that I have Thursday at 2 and Friday at, let's say, 6 available. Okay. What's the best time to follow up with you after you watch the video?
Yeah. Okay.
And that marks a date. That makes it, kind of forces her to look at it one or two of those days. Does that make sense? Because
Yes,
when you,
yes.
like I said earlier, if you leave it up to them, oh man, Rick, they're
It's
gonna
not
just
gonna
keep
happen.
giving you the runaround, the
Yep.
runaround. Now, if she says, if she can, if after that she's like, look, I'll get back to you, then let it go. But from the beginning, I always give them follow-up
The date.
dates and times.
Okay.
Always.
All right. Thank you.
Does that make sense? You're welcome.
Yes, thank you.
Yes, be consistent, not thirsty. Listen, y'all, we got our hands on, and you can raise your hands. I'm just talking right now, but we got our hands on $1 billion industry. We are the only seller of telecommunication, energy, and other essential services. Like, we have stuff that people need. We have, and when you realize how valuable that is, can't nobody tell you nothing. When you realize what you have, you're a part of, just like in your belief in, let's say you are a religious person, your belief in God, can nobody tell me God not real, right? Like, God doesn't exist. Nobody can tell me that he is my savior. I don't care how many of y'all on this line, all 37 or 36 of you outside of me, there's nothing you can tell me about God not taking care of me. You should feel the same way about your business. The only reason why you wouldn't feel that way about your business is because you don't trust your business, or you don't trust yourself in your business. I trust God because I've been following him all my life, right? I trust that he's made a way out of no way. He's done so many things for me in my life that I've seen. So that's why I trust him fully. The reason why a lot of times you don't feel like that way about your business because you haven't seen enough money yet, or you haven't helped enough people yet, right? Or you haven't done the work yet to get what you want, and then you wondering why your business not the way you want it to be. You don't trust it enough. You can't tell me nothing about ACL. I wish somebody would say, like, and I've had people, like, come to my meetings and say, talk crazy. I've had to put people out of my meeting. Like, don't come in here telling me what ACN can and can't do. I got to look. When checks was out, I know we was, but hey, look, right. I had to show and tell to some people back in the day. Like, you can't tell me what we have our hands on not real, right? And I can't. Only way I can't change your life is if you don't want me to, or if you don't allow me to. That's the only way. Working with me, I know I can make you some money. I know I can change your family life forever. And y'all got to feel that same way. So, Rick, you, like, dealing with her, talk to somebody else.
Yep.
And if I can be really blunt with you, right?
Sure.
So don't take this the wrong way. The reason why you worried about her is because you don't have nobody else. And I say that to say, one second. I'm not saying you don't have nobody else. I'm saying that meaning if you always have people constantly that you're talking to, and hopefully that's the case,
yeah,
you wouldn't care about it anyway.
Yeah. Oh, I don't care.
I know you don't. Like, when I say that, I mean, like, imagine you had 15 people you had to follow up with, right? Right now. Whether she was there or not, you wouldn't even care. You'd be like, whatever, right? And I'm not saying it's to Rick per se. I'm saying this to all of us. He just happened to be the last one to ask the question, right? If you have 15, 20 people, 30 people you following up with, look, you wouldn't care. What? Daryl didn't answer my call, or Daryl didn't watch the video. Let me find somebody else. When people do that to me, I say, you know what? And obviously my voice is projecting, so I'm, getting back excited again. I'd be like, let me find somebody else to take their place. So, yes, Rick. You got this.
Okay.
Who else? That was fun. I like answering questions. Anybody? Anybody? Mr. Brian, I got you. We got it. You know, one thing I love about Jeff and Melissa Street, you guys. And if you're not, they have a very, if y'all don't know, they're RVP Platinums. One thing I love that they do every time they're on stage is the 100 squares, right? And this is a good follow-up system in your business, since we're on that topic. You know, I've done the 100 probably a million times by now, right? And I have still so many people, but make you 100 squares board or paper, whatever the case may be. And as you're writing them down, and he said exposures, not necessarily they got in or they being your customer right away. He said 100 exposures. You know, we just had a really big Dallas event 2 weeks ago, and he really harped about Tony Kupis was there, Senior Vice President Platinum, Presley Swaggerty. They did some really good training on just following up. Most of that training was pretty much following up. And with them squares, you guys, put them names in them squares. You know what the squares do? It just show you results. Like it just show you like what you're doing. It makes you, here you go, a good word. It makes you accountable of what you're doing or what you're not doing. So I would say definitely check. I think it was on the back office under training at one time, 100 squares. So yeah, definitely following up, writing notes, right? 100 squares is a good follow-up. Any other questions? Oh, it's on YouTube. Got it. So so let me share something with y'all before Mr. Al take over. But so I go to school to be a pastry chef, right? I'm in school. This is my last, thank God, this is my last class. And this particular class is cake decorating, right? And I was thinking about this when it comes to building and following up and all that. When it comes to business, crazy. I don't know if this is a good analogy or not. But anyways, so I'm baking this cake. Obviously, you need your ingredients, right? Our services stuff. You put all the ingredients together. Baking a cake, you need cake flour. You may need eggs. You may need heavy cream, sugar, vanilla extract. All those things. All those encompasses. All those are like services we have in our ACN business, right? That's everything that we have to offer. And obviously the goal is to build big businesses with that. So when building the cake, obviously I got to get the, put the cake, put the ingredients together, mix it in a mixer, all that stuff, y'all. And then you obviously separate the cake. All right. Once you bake the cake though, now you got to build the structure of the cake. Now, before this class, y'all, all I knew how to do was, y'all know y'all got the box cake. You just take the box, bake the cake, put the icing on it, you're done. That's the quick way, right? Now that I'm in pastry school, I don't know nothing about box, nothing, right? Everything is from scratch. But one thing I thought about when I was thinking about training with you guys is building and structure, because if anybody knows baking a cake, once you bake the cake, you got to separate two. Let's say I have 2 cakes. I have to separate it in layers, like cut both 2 cakes in half to make 4. That's how you get those layers of cake, you guys, when y'all go to birthday parties and stuff, right? You cut it in half, but then you got to stack it, right? To make sure that the layers, and roll with me, when it comes to building your business, you stacking these layers, same thing with your partners and your customers, right? You stacking the layers to know how it's going to look, right? That's the same thing with building, you know, your ACN business. Maybe I could have saved this for team building, but anywho, but one thing you have to do is on your cakes, you put a crumb coat. I don't know if y'all know what a crumb coat is, but a crumb coat is the initial coat of icing to keep your cake together. right? That's the training, right? When it comes to your ACN business, you had a crumb coat because it holds the cake together. It grabs all the crumbs, right? In your ACN business, your training is like your crumb coat, y'all. What is it doing? It's holding the pieces of people together. The ones that y'all know those ones. So the crumb cake, you put it in one, and if you ever seen a crumb coat, it looks like the cake not finished, right? So you put it in the freezer, the refrigerator, so let it, do what it do, let it get hard or whatever. But once you take that cake out, the crumb cake is on, now you put the final coat. That's the beauty of building your business. That's that new IBO that's excited. You putting on them layers, you smoothing it over, showing them training, showing them, everything that incorporates building. Now you've built, I'm not gonna say you built a good firm IBO, but you may have possibly built a leader or whatever. Yeah. I just wanted to share that. When I was baking my cake, I was like, this is like building an ACN business. I gotta do this, I gotta do that. And yeah, so that's how it is. Hopefully that made some kind of sense. I don't know. I told y'all at the beginning, this analogy may be good or not. But now you have a whole cake. And so yeah. But anyways, hope my training today helped you guys just a little bit. The fortune is in the follow-up. So let me go share with this really quick. So at the end of the day, your call to action is this, y'all. You have to reach out to people. If you don't reach out, guess what happens? You're not going to get it. So let me, okay, here you go. All right, so your call to action for today, obviously, once again, figure out why you're doing the business. You have to keep writing that over and over again. All right, so you'll remember, okay? Rewrite your contact list, schedule 2 private Zoom receptions or private business receptions today after this training event. Okay, when it comes to bonuses, set an amount. You should do this. Listen, y'all, every month I set an amount that I want to make in my ACN business. Set that amount, write it, set it, call Mr. Thomas or whoever your leader is, say, hey, listen, this is what I need next month. I need you to show me how to follow up, how to, obviously it comes with doing private business reception, but reach out to your mentors, your regional directors, so they can help you. Make a list of follow-ups of people that you would like to become involved in ACN. Let me give you guys a tip. My senior vice president, obviously, who is senior vice president Chanel Burke, she told us, and I'm gonna share this with y'all. She told us on our training call. She said, go through your team list, right? Your team view of your back office, right? Go to your team view and click on everybody that's active first. You can filter that. That's a whole nother class. You can filter it if you don't know how. Go to team view, go to filter, and you can filter everybody that's on your team that's active. Reach out to them, right? Because if they still active, that means they pay their $25 a month, right? Whether they're doing ACN or not. See how they're doing, right? Catch up, right? See if they want to do something different, right? Even inactive. So first she said active, then she said the people that's still on this, they happen to be inactive. They might be inactive because life has happened to them, right? You just never know where people are in their places in their lives. And if you have a report, you still have access to people. Y'all know that, right? If you have a report in your back office, you still have access. So with that being said, that was just a tip. So 38 days from now, you've heard them say it. We are headed to Orlando, Florida. A lot of you guys came up to me in Baltimore and said you will be promoted right after the event. Y'all said y'all gonna be promoted in Orlando. So type in the chat if you're gonna be your next position by Orlando, because I'm gonna write it down, I'm gonna screenshot it, and I'm gonna find you or find me as you're working to RC, RD. Come tell me. I love the interaction with you guys because it just made me feel like I said, I love helping people. Right, Brent? Right, Amanda? We got to get it done. So if you're not registered for Orlando, you still have time to register. Flights, I know flights from Maryland were like $150. From Texas, the flights are $150 round trip. Look, reach out. Tell your mentor. If you don't have it, guess what? We need to do something now. You have 38 days to get a bonus. So you can have it. Okay? Trail by rail, trail, camel, you need to get to Orlando. We've never been to Orlando, Florida in my 11 years in ACN. Orlando. We've been, I don't even know, we've been to Los Angeles. No, that's California. Yeah, but in my 11 years, we have not been to Orlando. Oh, we just went to Fort Lauderdale. That's where we went last in Florida. I'm like, didn't we go to Florida before? But Orlando, all right? Look, this is what I do, y'all. I join groups. This is another tip. I join groups of international training events that we're going to. For example, I joined a Orlando group of people, right? And as I'm going there, I'm gonna share with them what I do and how I do it. So join the different groups. There's a lot of Orlando groups of people that's looking to make extra money, that's looking to network. Okay, start reaching out now, because you never know.